to kick it off. I want to welcome all of you to the School of Solana Season 7 graduation call. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the run that's just being concluded. We're going to share some data, share the floor with our partners who have graciously joined us today. Thank you for being here. And we'll also talk about the next steps required for you all to claim your graduation certificates and show off your skills. So, first of all, I'm going to introduce the School of Solana team. We've got Josef Gatrmaj here, our CEO. Then there's Andrej Lukačovič, the lead instructor, who sadly could not make it today due to health reasons. There's Matěj Hičko, who delivered one lecture on the Token 2022 extensions, and we've also met him on Discord quite a bit. And then there's me, who you've met on Discord quite a bit as well. So I will now pass the word to our CEO, Josef Gatrmaj, to introduce the company.
Yeah, so hi everyone. I guess you all know the company, but I will use this space to thank all of you. So we as auditors are very happy that we can be also helping other people to join the ecosystem, which of course is possible only thanks to the Solana Foundation grant that we received. So thank you again, Jacob, for providing us the grant, and also. We get a grant for some of the tools that you have been already using. So Trident was also granted by the foundation, and we are really happy that we could be, besides our security audit work, doing the education and tooling parts, which are helping everyone. And next slide, Thomas, please. I really thank the Solana Foundation, but also I need to thank our other partners and clients that make this all possible. So we are happy that we could be working with Camino or Wormhole for the Solana ecosystem, and also helping them to get better security by our tooling and audits. So thank you everyone, and heading back to Thomas.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the intro, Josef. So let's talk about what just finished. Just in high level, take a quick retrospective. So School of Solana is a free development course by Ackee. It was supported by Solana Foundation's grant. And as you all know by now, it's 9 weeks of hands-on learning with 5 core lectures and 4 bonus lectures that take you all the way from an intro to Solana to advanced programming and security topics. And each of these lessons carry a weekly task, save for the bonus ones, and of course a final Solana program task, which also requires a front-end deployment. So in order for someone to graduate, first they need to pass at least 3 out of 5 tasks. This was accomplished by 413 people. 116 actually completed all 5 tasks, so big kudos to all of you who did that. And the other important graduation requirement is to develop a functioning Solana program, and 207 people have passed this. So it's super exciting. We're going to be talking about some of the coolest submissions later on. So in numbers, we've had altogether 1,515 applicants this season. Out of those, 1,482 accepted it. Were accepted to the run. That means they passed the initial quiz in the Google form. 1,000 were verified in Discord, so that means all people who actually took the step to join the comms channel and start learning, basically. And as I just said, 413 completed 3 out of 5 tasks, 207 completed their Solana programs and created new Solana GitHub repos in the process. And finally, 197 people graduated. So that means all of you graduates are the top 13% of people who applied. So huge congratulations to all of you. In the previous seasons, we've had around this number of graduates. It's hovered between 8 to 12% of those who applied. And yes, I saw that comment that we forgot one team member. This season, we had a very special edition in our Dev Help channel, in that we created a support AI agent who you could ask any questions regarding Solana, Rust, and security. And altogether, there were 330 support threads, and Tolly delivered almost 2,000 responses to the support. So we're super thankful that you interacted with him the way you did. We hope he was helpful and pleasant to use. We'll be sharing a feedback form later on in this presentation where you can share, can tell us how he did and how we did with him, basically. So thanks for that. Next up, we're going to take a look at some of the coolest submissions we've had this season, and I'm going to pass the word to Maciej, who will talk about these. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. So hello everyone, and just as Tomáš said, usually during the graduation calls we do a short segment where we show off some of your programs that you submitted. And this season we received 240 program submissions, so it made choosing very difficult. But in the end, I selected 4 submissions, which are, by the way, not ranked in any particular order, and nor were they chosen based on their complexity, but I thought that these ideas were interesting and well executed. So let's go. Next slide, please. So the first submission is Fidana, which is a program that allows users to create feedback boards. Next slide, please. Here is what it looks like. And next slide, please. And here you can see what the created board looks like. So users are able to create boards, and then others can reply to those boards, and users can also upvote or downvote individual responses. So very cool idea, very nice submission. Yeah. On to the next one. The second submission is Substream, which is a platform that allows users to create services, and other users can then pay for these services, which gives them access to some locked content for a certain time period. You can see that on the next slide. So this is what the services look like. And one more, please. And when you purchase some service, you pay a subscription fee, and for a certain time period, you get access to a content. Again, also a very nice use case. So on to the third submission, which is probably the most creative one. It is called Dear Future, which allows you to create time capsules where you can post an image with a message and the title. Next slide, please. And then these capsules are locked. And when timer passes, users are able to view them. On to the next slide, please. And they can also mint compressed NFTs out of these capsule contents, which they can store in their wallets forever. All right. And on to the last and final submission, which is again very creative. I'm sure some of you are familiar with Place event that takes place on Reddit, where users are able to color some tiles, and then communities can together create some artworks. And this is very similar, but moved on chain. So once again, very cool idea, very nice programs, guys. I was very impressed. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for showcasing these, Maciej. Super exciting to see the creativity out there. So great job, guys, on these. We will now give the stage to our partners who made this possible. So first up, we've got Jacob Krisch of Solana Foundation. Thank you for accepting the invitation, Jacob. And the floor is yours now.
Sure. Hello, everyone. So my name's Jacob Creech. I do developer relations here at Solana Foundation. I won't take up too much of my time. I just want to give the same kind of spiel I give to everyone. One, like this is really a big accomplishment to get through this. Ackee is one of the harder educational cohorts that we have that we help funding the ecosystem. Ackee does a great job, and I'm sure you all have kind of dealt with getting through all of the very hard problems and probably working through the programs and things like that. But what I want to say is don't stop here. Like there's tons more that you can potentially do. Take your learnings, apply them to Coliseum, which I believe it starts on Thursday. Enter a project. There's a ton of stuff going on in the ecosystem and a ton of opportunity. Don't let this cohort of Ackee be the end of your opportunity. It's all up to you at this point. Like take this opportunity that you have been given and run with it and build some cool projects on Solana. And if you ever need any help, feel free to DM me at any point in time. DMs are open on Twitter, on Telegram, on Discord, wherever you feel like. I have my DMs open, but happy to help. But thank you everyone for going through this.
Awesome, Jacob. Thank you very much for the kind words and showing the direction to our graduates here. Next up, I would like to introduce Sandy Carter from Unstoppable Domains. Sandy, the floor is yours. Thank you for joining us.
Hang on. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Thomas, for having me on. I really appreciate that. And Jacob, thank you also for being on and for congratulating everybody. I do know this is it is a hard lift and a heavy lift to go through a program like this. But at the end today, you're so exhilarated that you've done this. But as Jacob said, don't let it start here. Don't let it stop here. Sorry, let it start here. Don't let it stop here for sure. I wanted to walk you through our support for Solana. My name is Sandy Carter. I'm the Chief Business Officer for Unstoppable Domains. We are a digital identity company. And what we do is we create digital identities for everybody in the Web3 and blockchain world. We also sell ENS. Thank you, Mo. But you need to get some Unstoppable for sure. We support Solana. We are minting on Solana. So if you got let's say you got a WIF or a Benji, or a .sal, for example, you're minting those on Solana. Regardless of where you're minting your digital identity, we support all Solana wallets, all Solana applications, Solana games, anything that exists on Solana as well. So I think this is really, really, really awesome that we now have everything minting on Solana as well. So have you guys seen what we look like, what the new face of Unstoppable is? You may not have. So what I would love to do, if I could, is let me see if I can do this. I'm going to take over the screen here for a second and show you guys what this looks like today. Let me see if I can do that. It doesn't look like I can. Hang on one second. It's not letting me share, Thomas. So I'll just keep talking. So what happens is you create a profile, and on the profile you can have all of your collectibles. So for example, we have a Gary V collectible that lets you get in the front of the line for a selfie with Gary V. You can use that almost as a reward system. We have certificates that are stored inside of your domain too. And that certificate enables you to have a soulbound token that registers that you've passed a certain program, which is really cool. So for example, on LinkedIn, this blows my mind. These are numbers from LinkedIn. 30% of the people on LinkedIn who list a university or a certification actually never got that certification and never went to that university. 30%. And this is the power of blockchain, because now you could mint your certification on Solana or Ethereum or Sonic or now OG, zero gravity, and you can mint that there, and it's a soul-bound token, so it stays with you. It's proof, trusted verification that you actually went through that certification. And then we also have a whole set of badges. And the really cool thing about the badges are that the badges now enable you tokenized access to certain private chats, to certain rewards, like a 10% discount, any of those type of things too. So I think it's super cool that you can have your own digital identity, and now it can be minted on Solana. We are right now hiring a couple of roles for our engineering team. We have the world-class engineering team. I don't know if you guys have seen the number of iterations that our dev team does. We are just, flying through everything. And we also now have given a choice for .com, .ai, .io to be tokenized as well. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's super cool because what it does, it enables you to go to where Web 2 folks are. So if you buy a .com from us, that .com is tokenized. You can use that on the blockchain. You can use it to pay for crypto. You can use it as your gamer tag. You can use it for an encrypted chat. So essentially, we're bringing the world of Web 3 over to Web 2. So we do have needs for people who kind of bridge both that Web 3 and Web 2 garden, people who want to make it easier for Web 2 and for the normies to join us on the blockchain side as well. So we have lots of opportunities. Right now, we are full on the marketing side as well. We don't hire DevRels because we're really not a dev product. We do digital identity, so we don't really have a lot of people that are doing dev on us. Typically, it's wallets who integrate with us, or an exchange who integrates with us, or someone who wants to log in, like Pudgy World. You can log in with your sandy.pudgy, but we typically don't do a lot of other dev things, which is why you don't see us in it's why you don't see us in a lot of the dev conferences or DevCon or that sort of thing. So we're just real excited. Thank you guys for having us. Thomas, again, thank you for inviting me to join. If you have any questions about Unstoppable, let us know. We've been around since 2018. We have a lot of exciting things coming up, I think. And again, we now are supporting our dear friends in Solana. Thank you.
Awesome, Sandy. Thank you very much for the entry. It's super cool to see what you're building, and we're very thankful that you accepted our invitation today.
I was honored, Thomas, when you invited me, truly. We love Solana at Unstoppable, so when you invited me, I said yes immediately, and then I cleared my calendar for you guys. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Thank you very much, Sandy. So now we've got Pratik from Superteam Earn. Thank you for joining the invitation, Pratik, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Thomas. Good to see you all. First of all, congratulations on graduating this class. As we heard from Jacob, seems to be a big deal. So yeah, congratulations. And thank you, Thomas, for having me. I think this I'm excited to be here because this is kind of the perfect audience for our product, Superteam Earn. And I'm just going to quickly share my screen and tell you guys a little bit about what Earn is, how you can start your crypto career or your Solana career on Earn as new graduates, and a couple of other things. Please let me know if you can see my screen right now.
Yep, it's there.
Okay, perfect. So earning your crypto is easier than you think. That's kind of the theme of this, of what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips and some inspiring stories about developers who made it big by doing bounties on Solana, despite not having a lot of experience before that. A little bit about me. I joined Superteam in April 2022. So before Superteam was in 15 different countries. When Superteam chapters did not exist, there was only one Superteam chapter. I was in the founding team of Superteam Earn, which was in, we started the version 1 of Superteam Earn in August of 2022. We had to do a full revamp after that. So we built out Superteam V2, which is Superteam Earn V2, which is what you see online right now. And I joined as the lead, have been leading the product for the last 2 years, have seen it grow from $90,000 in total value earned for freelancers on the platform to $8.5 million today. And have seen it grow from a user base of 4,000 to 125,000 today. So what is the work to earn philosophy? I know that like all of us are very get a little bit jealous when we see traders 100x their bags on Twitter, but this call is not about that. It's about how to exchange your work or talent for internet money, for earning your SPL tokens and your Solana. This is not going to be about farming airdrops or trading. One quote that kind of is the point of this call and the whole point of Superteam Earn, and to some extent Superteam as well, is this quote from Akshay, which is the TCP/IP visa is the new H-1B visa. And this quote is from a couple of years ago, but this is especially relevant today, especially relevant this week actually, because of what Trump is doing with the H-1B visa. So I come from a third world country. I'm from India. All of us have had dreams of working in the US, earning US dollars, and sending some money back home, which seems to be even harder today. So yeah, this is kind of like Superteam Earn, and just generally all the opportunities that Solana has, that crypto has, is even more attractive because of borderless earnings and earning in global standards. So there are a couple of things that Earn stands for, which is basically no gatekeeping. Any opportunity that you see on Earn is available to you. You don't need a visa. You don't need degrees. You don't need like a fancy LinkedIn profile. Literally all you need is an email ID and some skills, and I'm sure you have both of these now. So Earn is kind of the perfect place for you guys to start. So what is Earn? So before I get into what is Earn, if there are some people on this call that have already heard about Earn, please just send a hi or a yes on the chat, just so that I know how many people know about Earn. Okay, lovely. So okay, somebody has earned, Yadla has earned $4,000 on Earn. So I mean, that's I was going to get into social proof, but if there is social proof right here in this cohort, then that's very good to see. Yeah, so Earn, just for people who don't know, you can do basically 4 things on Earn. You can do bounties, you can apply for freelance gigs, you can submit to hackathon tracks, and you can apply for grants. So essentially, anything which is not a job that lets you convert your talent into money, you can do that on Superteam Earn. And one stat that I think will excite you guys is that developers like you have already earned $3 million just from Earn, and that is things that earnings that Earn can directly attribute to the platform. I mean, of course, we have heard countless stories where employers have looked at someone's profile on Superteam Earn or their proof of submissions on Twitter from Earn, and then kind of offered them a job. And none of that, like all these things, are not even included in the 3 million. The 3 million is like direct attribution to earnings from the platform. One more reason why I think you should be glad that you're here today. I'm also glad that I was invited. Is there are $30,000 worth of developer opportunities live on Earn right now, and this does not even include the grants that you could be applying for. There are multiple grants from multiple partners on Earn. You can go to earn.superteam.fund/grants, and you will see all of these grants listed over there. Each of them has a theme of their own and a budget of their own. So you check out the details, and I'm sure because some of you have already had some experience doing bounties, this is going to be relevant to you. Bounty hunting pays off massively. I have a couple of examples here of people who have done very well after starting off doing bounties in Solana. First one is Yash Agrawal. I've known Yash since ever since I joined Superteam, basically since the last 3 years. He was one of the more talented bounty hunters on Solana, even though he's not a developer. He's a very, very good writer, and recently, and I'm sure most of you know about Yash, but he's co-founded SendAI and SendCoin. This at the peak of its market cap was worth around, I think somewhere around $90 million. He started off doing writing bounties. Even though he's not technical, I thought, this is like a good inspiration and a good aspirational example to have. Second is Manish. Manish is especially interesting because he's a developer from India who attempted 25 bounties before he won his first bounty. It's a classic case of perseverance where he was using bounties as a way to improve, as a way of doing side projects where there was no downside, essentially. Right? There's no downside in doing bounties. As long as you put in good effort, you might lose, but you might eventually end up learning something. And the upside is, of course, all the money that you can earn on Superteam Earn and Solana in general. Manish's profile, just want to quickly take some time to show you Manish's profile. As you can see, he's done 82 submissions. He's won 10 of them. And the first 25 was 0 earnings. And then you can see that after that, he's made $15,000 from Earn. Now he's a DevRel at Iris, which is not a Solana blockchain, not on Solana, but it's a separate blockchain. But he's kind of become a friend through his journey on Earn, and he talks very highly about Earn and how it has helped him get this job. Then there is Srinivas, who's also from India, who's a founding engineer at SendAI, who has earned a wild amount of $82,000 on Earn. As you can see, he started off doing small bounties. He applied to a couple of gigs. He got his first payment of $150 on Earn as a second prize for a bounty. Then you can see that his earnings keep going up and up and up. There are still a few bounties that he did not win, but he kept trying, and eventually ended up submitting to the AI track of the $1 million hackathon that we had hosted by Mobius, by Sonic, called the Mobius Hackathon, where he ended up earning $80,000. So that's a very long way of saying that these are people that only started out a couple of years ago, and they've made their lives have transformed because of some perseverance of them applying their skills, all the skills that you've learned today, thanks to Ackee. Okay, before I go into the next slide, Thomas, please let me know if I'm eating into other people's time, or if I have time. Just feel free to stop me. Work to earn arc. So the process here, or the way to go about it, is very simple. You start applying to bounties, you win your first bounty, you attempt a hackathon track, or you get your first freelance gig. And then, of course, the ideal scenario is if you want a job, then you go for a full-time job, or if you want to become a founder, you apply for a grant. All of this, except for getting a full-time job, is something you can do on Earn. It is extremely simple to sign up on Earn. It will take you less than 30 seconds to sign up. All you need is an email ID, as I said. No complication for wallets. We have an embedded wallet. As soon as you sign up and make your time profile, you'll be given a wallet. It is accessible on mobile and desktop, and there are a couple of other features that you can experience on Earn. Just to sign off, I would say your talent is your currency, and the most long-term game that you can play in crypto today is to earn your crypto by exchanging your talent for money, for crypto, and that way you don't need to buy it. And just remember to go to Superteam Earn and start applying to bounties. And if there's anything that I can help you with, you can reach out to me on Telegram. It's just my first name and my last name, Pratik Gulani. I'll be happy to help you and guide you personally about, just reach out to me. Happy to help. Thank you, Thomas.
Awesome, Pratik, and thank you very much for the in-depth presentation. I think it's very relevant to our graduates, so it's super cool to see this kind of initiative. So be sure to check out Superteam Earn, and thank you very much for the entry. And now, next up, we've got Jeff from Turbine, a fellow educational initiative on Solana. So thanks for joining us, Jeff, today, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Appreciate being here. Hold on one second. Let me just resume presenting. There we go. Congratulations, everyone. It's quite an accomplishment to resolve through a 9-week program. And happy to be here, Thomas and Joseph and everybody. Appreciate the invite and the continued collaboration to help train developers, technical talent on Solana, and provide them with really one of the things that we are super emphatic about, a professional experience. Okay, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through this, but congratulations. This is a great step. And I know it's a great step because when we first got to Solana, Ackee was already here doing this work. And in the time that we've been on Solana, 3 years, we have found that the people from Ackee coming to Turbine have been the best prepared participants in our program. And it's not even close. I think that there's a lot of similarity in philosophical approach to how we do things, and the focus on quality and the focus on accountability and consistency and things of that sort, the soft skills. So I am Jeff Japperjam from Solana Turbine. My background is I spent 3 decades as an educator here in the US, working mostly in private institutions. Half that time I was in the classroom and on the fields coaching. The other half I was, as they say, I went to the dark side and started building and running schools and managing them. Retired after the pandemic that coincided with my own health challenges with cancer and chemo, but you can count backwards in years and you know that 6 years later, I'm still here talking to y'all with some energy. So I'm doing pretty good. Turbine, which at the time was called Terra Builders Alliance, we were founded a little over 4 years ago. I entered the industry building in a hackathon, Chainlink hackathon, went to Discord as a, almost 50-year-old dude, and started recruiting teammates from all over the world. My first teammates were from Nigeria and Kenya, and we built a project for the Chainlink hackathon. And people thought we were going to win, and but we ran into a bottleneck at the end. We made an inexperienced mistake, and it was okay. We didn't win. We won a little bit of money. We got a grant from Polygon. We operated for a little while, but the lesson there is be resilient, and you're never too old or past your time to do something if you get excited about whatever it is you're doing. If you just spent 9 weeks working at Ackee, you have enough passion and hunger for knowledge that you're well on your way. So we actually signed, and this is important for those of you that aspire to be founders or work on early stage projects, we signed a $2.2 million grant with Solana Foundation, or with Luna Foundation Guild on a Saturday night. The following Tuesday, UST lost its peg and all that money disappeared. We had a decision to make. Do we keep going, or do we wrap it up and all go somewhere else to do something different? Well, we believed in what we wanted to do. We believed, and this is still a big part of our thesis now, there was a gap in the industry that we could fill with quality and make an impact. Okay, yes, very niche. Yes, very different. Yes, everybody's saying you can't do that. But we believed in it. And we said we're going to try to prove this model right. So 3 quarters, we operated on 1 quarter's worth of funding that we got from Juno, and we made it work. And as would luck that we made for ourselves would have it, I met Lily Liu, and we were talking about building on Osmosis, which is another Cosmos chain. And she looked at our plan and said, you shouldn't go to Osmosis, you should come to Solana. A couple of days later, we're on a call with Chase Barker, and we've now been on Solana for 3 years. Interestingly, if you count backwards 3 years, yes, we signed to work on Solana just before FTX and never looked back. So if you're here, it means you believe in yourself, and you got to continue to do it, because as hard as Ackee is, as hard as Turbine is, as hard as any of those things are, as hard as it is to get, submit for a hackathon, let alone win one, 10,000 people are going to register. About 1,000 to 1,500 will actually submit, and only 30 of them get their names called. That's a lot of disciplined people who believe in themselves, who all have to look in the mirror and say, do I want to keep going, or do I want to do something different? It's that latter group, that former group rather, that I want to keep going. They're the ones that make it. They're the ones that are leading projects, because you could have all the Rust skill in the world, but if you don't have resilience, you're not going anywhere. So here we are, and we continue to evolve. I'm actually going to talk about our evolution because it does apply to everybody here. So, the congratulations comes with what I know it takes to get here. Hard work, showing up, sacrifice, commitment, collaboration, shipping, and skill. I put skill last. Some of the most skilled people and smartest people I know can't work in a job because they don't have some of the other things. Now, they could be successful working on their own, but they can't work for companies because they don't have the soft skills. So you could always grow your technical skills, but don't forget to grow those soft skills if you want to work in the industry or work anywhere, candidly. So I want to tell you a little bit of real stuff. These are people that graduated Ackee and are now very successful. And we know them because they came to us. And I'm not saying we're the only place to go after Ackee and that we're the best. I'm not saying that. But for the people that are a good fit for us, they do very well. Okay? But there's lots of opportunities. There's lots of different ways to learn and grow. And you got to find what's right for you. We might be, we might not be, but we'll help you. We'll help you understand that. The first guy is Andre. Andre's our CTO at Turbine. Turbine employs 22 people. Except for me and my co-founder, everybody's a graduate of our programs. Everybody. And we don't just do education. We have a dev shop that's thriving. We have, we help talent find jobs. 2 guys got jobs in the last 24 hours. One at Triton, one at Rialo. Good jobs. Okay. But Andre came to us 2.5 years ago. Now he teaches our accelerated program. He teaches our Pinocchio working group, and he's our CTO. He's one of my 2 partners on our project. Johnny's another guy. Johnny started with us at the same time. Now he teaches in our builders program, and he is one of our lead developers in our dev shop. He's actually the best person I know to integrate Radium, Meteora, and he's better at doing bonding curves than anybody I know. Johnny came, not only did he show up every day, but he showed up twice a day and came and joined sessions even after he graduated. He's hungry. He really, really wants it bad. You don't just say it, he does it. And then a lot of you, if you know Coliseum and the Codex, Mike Hale came with us at the same time. All 3 of those guys came to us. And Mike found his way, not as a developer, but as a content creator who knows the technical side really, really well, but is also a very good writer. So he actually found himself a really nice job working for Coliseum. He's been there for quite a while. All these guys started where you are. Okay? It's important. I mean, I wanted to show you real relevant Ackee to Turbine to successful careers. What do they all have in common? Hard work, showing up, sacrifice, commitment, collaboration, and some skill. The same things that it took you to get to this point. But like anything else in this world, to be competitive, because it is a competitive world and it is a competitive industry, you've got to continue to up every one of these areas. You got to continue to push yourself. I would say when I work with teams to find talent and then I match skill with somebody, I spend more time with the people that are graduates of Turbine, helping them understand how to work in a team environment. Turn on your camera. Speak up. Don't talk like you're scared to say what you did and fade off at the end because you don't want to say it. Little things, little soft skills are the difference between getting a job and not getting a job. How to communicate in Discord and Telegram when you meet somebody new. How to deal with it when you don't get the job. Don't go crash out on Twitter. I mean, Twitter impulsivity is very much not recommended. I was just talking to someone yesterday. I was saying, you know, potential employers will not want to see you posting full emails that were addressed directly to you. They'll see that and say, wow, I don't want them posting private emails that I send them. I don't want to hire that person. So there's a lot of parts to this that are important for you to know. And we'll certainly share that with you again, whether you come and work with us or not. I'm happy to have those conversations with you because our mission from day one is see a gap and fill it. And the way we fill that gap is by training professional, ethical, skilled talent and finding the right culture fit for them so that it's a long-term fit. We have over 220 of our graduates working across Solana at over 100 projects. We have a clause in our agreement that says if the person doesn't last 30 days, da 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 da. We've never used that clause in 3 years. The minimum our people stay is 6 months. Most of them are still with the job we put them in because we don't just focus on the skill match. We focus on the people. And when I have calls with client teams, I always think to myself, hey, would these 3 or 4 people be on this call being able to talk and feel comfortable? It's the soft skills. So think about that. All right, so let me talk a little bit about Turbine because I think that's what, you know, the Ackee team wanted me to give you a little bit of a lens. And there's some information in this slide that is good for everybody here. I saw someone saying, well, I got rejected. Nobody gets rejected from Turbine. We'll defer you and we'll give you some feedback on what you need to do to get a little bit better. But we never tell people, no, you can't participate. It's just not right now. So what does Turbine look like? We study, we read code, we take risks, we write code. We do all of that stuff in a very social, stand-up team meeting environment. Okay? Because we want you to be independent professionals. We don't want you to be dependent on a tutorial. You know, I need to do something with an escrow. I'm going to go, you know, rip a tutorial and use that. We don't want you to be dependent. We need you to become independent. And so during the course of all of our programs, it's different in each program depending on the level. We tear away a lot of scaffold so that you can stand on your own. Okay, we call it the ZPD. It's a educational philosophy theory by Vygotsky called the zone of proximal development. We want to keep everybody in the room constantly in that position of, I've got to work really, really hard and need maybe 2 or 3% support in order to achieve this task. Then next time I could do it on my own. And the next task, I need just a little tiny support. So the starting programs, and this has shifted in the last 2 weeks because we were going to do this in 2026, but we're going to do it now because we're getting a lot of reaction. And quite frankly, there's a lot of people coming from Ackee that kind of need this little piece. And we are offering a pre-builders program, which is just a little 2-week primer. Okay, it bridges that gap between the end of Ackee and the beginning of our builders program. And here's the biggest thing. We used to get 50 or 60 applicants 3 years ago. Now we get 1,000. 3 years ago, we talked about 76 devs on Solana. Now we are breaking records every year with Electric Capital's developer report. A lot of developers are seniors coming from other ecosystems or Web 2. It's just that more competitive to get into our program. And that's why Ackee's importance and growth in these programs has exploded. And it's why we had to get this pre-builders program in there, because we want to serve everybody. Between us and Ackee, I think we can. But it's hard, because you can't put a junior who's spent a week working with Rustlings in a room with somebody who's spent 3 years on legacy Rust. We can't serve everybody that way. So we've got to continue to grow this and be creative. So this pre-builder program is a 2-week program based on our exact content that basically picks up where Ackee leaves off and bridges the gap and gets you ready for our builders program. And we will be sending this information out to everybody who got deferred in this week. Okay, so everybody will have an opportunity if you want to do that. And it's also a little bit of Ackee model and a little bit of our model. So it's just a little bridge for those who need it. Those who don't need it, we have our builders program. Our builders program is a 6-week program. It is live remote 3 times a week, 90 minutes a pop, and you have to show up and you can't be on your phone. It's like a job. And we are doing, just to give you an idea of the pace, we're writing an AMM live in class that our participants are expected to ship in week 2. And by the end of the cohort, you have to ship an original proof of concept MVP to DevNet with all working tests. And we won't let you do incrementing counters and checkers games, because a lot of those projects become mainnet. Dark Lake was originally built in our cohort. Surf Pool, originally built in our cohort. So we expect you, we're going to push you. And that's why we do it live, because we'll get to know everybody in the room. But we can't if we have 1,000 people in the group and one person's figuring out how to set up their environment because they're getting out of Solana Playground, and the other person is building servers and creating new ways to use Tokyo. So that is our builders program. If you applied, you will be hearing from me this week, one way or the other. Our graduate, advanced, and accelerated programs are really, and our working groups are really where people are finding jobs out of them, and people are coming to us for those folks. Our advanced program is focused on runtime, engineering below the application layer, learning about the SVM, learning about TPU, but actually doing stuff with it. Okay, it is, if you want to get your Rust skills really ramped up really fast, go live in the runtime invoke context and go line by line and see what do you know and what don't you know. Use it as a diagnostic assessment of your Rust skills and highlight or underline what Rust concept don't you know. I don't know what RC and ARC are. I don't know the difference between RC and ARC. Why do we use ARC in the runtime and not RC? Well, the answer is because it's multi-threaded, okay? But if you don't know that, that's going to give you a roadmap of what you need to study. Go get videos and docs. I don't know what ARC is. Oh, now I know. I don't know what Tokyo is. Oh, now I do. And it makes sense because I understand how Solana works. So it's a diagnostic assessment for you to figure out on your own, what don't I know? Okay, because when you get below anchor, it gets real. Like it gets real with the Rust. Okay, so this time around though, almost everybody that got accepted into our advanced program, they are graduates of our recent builders program, and as soon as they graduated a month ago, they made study groups to work on runtime. But we didn't tell them to. They wanted to. And so now we're not going to do runtime in the advanced program. We're going to focus on the banking stage, and we're going to focus on the MEV products like Rakuri and Paladin and Jito. And we're going to look at how to reverse engineer something like BAM. We may or may not be able to do it, but we're going to sure as heck learn a lot figuring it out. And that's very much how we do things in our advanced programs. It is exploration without knowing if you're going to get it right or not. So you got to be fearless, and you have to have some thick skin. You got to be willing to work with someone else who has no idea either. Okay. Our Accelerated Builders program is also new. It is what we believe we needed to bridge between builders. If I'm going long here, just ping me. Between builders and our Pinocchio group. Accelerated is Pinocchio, the Yellowstone tool suite with indexing, Kadama, and Gil. It's advanced. Oh, and a little bit of light SVM. It's advanced. And it's fast. And because we then need to prepare people for our most advanced programs that I always say are like PhD programs. It's our working groups. Our Pinocchio working group is like a PhD style group. Got about 25 people in there. Last week I was talking with Zelmir, who built Tape Drive, and I was on a call with him. I'm like, hey, you want to see Pinocchians? And we jumped over, and there we are. We're rewriting Tape Drive in Pinocchio. And his head popped off his neck. His mind was blown. Because the only rule for that Pinocchian team is you're not allowed to write anything in Pinocchio that already exists in Pinocchio. You're working without an answer sheet. We're also doing the same thing right now for Gil. Gil needed to be rebuilt and put together. We're doing it. We have a group of 30 people that are working on exactly that. If you go to the Gil repo and you see all the stuff being grabbed for open source, it's coming from that group. It's actually happening right now as I'm talking to you. So think about it this way: Builders is a foundation, Advanced Accelerated is deeper immersion, and the working groups is like running through a forest in a race where you don't know where the finish line is, or even if there is one. So you gotta be, but this is the professional way to do it. If you're gonna work with us, you're gonna be professional, ethical, and collaborative. All right, I'm gonna skip to the end here, which is Turbine Tribe. If you really want to be part of it, you got to start where you are. You can't be disappointed that you didn't get into Builders. You can't be disappointed if you couldn't finish. About a third of the people every quarter are people that didn't get in the previous quarter and came back because they were really hungry. So I hope I didn't take too much time, but again, congratulations. I know what it takes to get here, but I also know what it takes to go further. And so I hope to see all of you soon. And thank you to the Ackee team for all the really nice collaboration over the years.
Awesome, Jeff. Thank you very much for the inspiring words and sharing info about the program. Please definitely do check out Turbine. Please definitely do check out Turbine to not stop learning ever. So we do have a couple more slides to wrap it up here. There's some next steps, obviously, we need to talk about. After the graduation, in order to claim your certificate, one important thing is, please, we've mentioned this in the Discord a couple of times already. Nonetheless, do fork your private School of Solana task repo to your GitHub and make it public. This is for two reasons. One is that we grow the number of Solana repos on GitHub, and the other is that this is a way for anyone visiting your GitHub profile to see all the hard work you've done. And it's also going to be used in the LinkedIn certificate claiming, so please make sure you do that. Yes, you're going to find out how to do that in the next slides, and also make sure to follow Ackee Blockchain and Trident Solana on Twitter to stay up to date on our other courses and developer resources that we share regularly. So how to claim your LinkedIn certificate. Don't worry, we'll share this info into the Discord channel as well, so you don't have to take photos or anything, but just so you get an idea, in your LinkedIn profile, you have a licensees and certification section. You will fill it out as you see it on the right here. We will share the badge and the template to the graduates channel in the coming days. This is just so you know, this is a certificate and not an employment at Ackee situation. We will be sending the NFTs, as the one you see on the right here, to the wallets you entered during the sign-up process. So please just let us know if you need to change the wallet address, because we know some of you needed to change these throughout the course for various reasons. So in case you lost access or you just want to use a different one, please open a support ticket on Discord so we send it to the right one. And today we've also shared a summary about the end of the run on Twitter. So please do repost it. Flex to other people that you finished the course. It's great to see the engagement there. And we're also in the comment, there's the announcement and link to the season 8 waitlists, which is coming up very soon. So if you help us spread the word, you're also going to help other people find the course and hopefully sign up too and follow in your footsteps. And one other NFT, we're sharing the season to those who have participated in testing our Solana Visual Studio Code extension. It's the same process. We will be sending these out to the wallet addresses you entered during the sign-up process. So again, please, if you want to, if you know you'll be receiving this, you know who you are, please do get in touch with us if you need to change the wallet address. It's not only technicality regarding that. So huge congrats to, this is the list of all the GitHub handles of everyone who's graduated. We are super thankful you've been with us for these intense 9 weeks. You went from intros to advanced concepts, and we're super grateful to have you here among the Solana elite, the 13% of all who applied. So great job. Please do let us know how we did. This is a link to a feedback form. It's a simple Google form. It's not going to take you more than a couple minutes. We're going to be sharing the link in the Discord as well. We'll be super happy to hear your thoughts and feelings, be they good or bad. And your feedback will directly influence how we conduct School of Solana and our other educational courses in the future. So please do get in touch. So this is it for the graduation call. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you for sticking with us, and stay tuned to the Discord channel. Everything important that we need to wrap up will be communicated there. So awesome. Thank you very much. Have a great day.